Hello everyone, Don here again with the next update on the W.A.R Corsair project. As you can see, I finally got the outer wing panels filled, sanded, primed, and painted this weekend. I just finished spraying this blue this morning, but it's all dry. It turned out fairly good. So, kind of looks different than this, but it's the same paint. Just the angle it's at. Then as you can see, I got the garage cleaned up some. I ended up buying me a set of ramps from Harbor Freight, 6-footers, and a worm gear winch. You can see the little worm gear in there. I'm going to mount that on my trailer, and I'm going to take and modify these ramps. Basically, I'm just going to drill a hole in here, put a bolt in there, weld it, whatever, and on the back edge of my trailer, I'm going to drill holes down through there to hook that right on there, and then I'll be able to use that winch to winch the airplane up onto the trailer. The reason I bought those now is next Sunday we have an Experimental Aircraft Association. We're doing a little get together to promote the Experimental Aircraft Association for one, and to let people know that you can actually build and fly your own airplanes. So it's kind of a thing we want to try to get more people aware of. A lot of people don't know that you can build your own airplanes. So our goal is to have this little annual event. We had one last year, and we're doing another one next weekend. So my plan is to put those ramps on the trailer, haul the fuselage up there, and put it on a static display. I'm not going to bother taking the wings. It's just going to be too troublesome to drag all this up there. It'd take me 2 or 3 trips to do it up and 2 or 3 back. So, but I just want to kind of get it out there so people can see what the potentials are of building your own airplanes. So, as you can see, I got these all done, and they're just kind of blended and oversprayed. You can kind of see some of the overspray as it wrapped around underneath. You know, it's just the effect I'm after. Plus, it's a poor man's cheap way out of doing a fine detail work. So, all right, I've had some questions people had asked. I might have mentioned it before, but someone was asking what theme scheme, paint scheme that I was going after, which squadron markings. And if I haven't said it before, it's basically VMF 214 Black Sheep Squadron. The commanding officer at the time was Major Gregory Pappy Boyington. Everybody referred to him as Pappy or Gramps because he was old age for a fighter pilot at the time. He was like 35, 36 years old. But essentially, that's kind of the overall look of the plane. And then in this booklet here I got, it's Corsair Aces of World War II. In here is a picture of bureau number 86. I don't know if you can see it, but it basically says Major Gregory Boyington on there. And if you notice, the bureau number of this airplane is 18086. What they generally do, like 883, that's 179883. They just drop the first 2 digits and use the last 3 digits of basically the serial number of the aircraft. So this one's 86 for 18086, and it was called Lulu Bell. It was kind of a photo op plane. It wasn't Boyington's personal, but it was. These were the 2 planes that Boyington flew a lot of. All right, someone I had mentioned before in one of my replies that I went and did a search for available N numbers, and I was trying to find 883. It was already taken. So I tried 179883. It was already taken. So then I got this book out and started looking, and I seen this one, Lulu Bell 86. And it's 18086. So I checked that number. That number was available. So I pre-registered, reserved 18086 for an N number on the tail. So I'll be able to put that 86 on there. On the front of the landing gear legs, the 86 goes on there. But the N number will actually literally go right back here on the tail, N18086. So, correct serial number, correct N number for an airplane that I'm actually replicating. So, that was sweet. So that's I got my fiberglass cloth in. I ended up trying to order this from a company in Indiana. Didn't hear anything back from them, so I tried calling a number. Number's disconnected, so That told me right there that the company is most likely out of business. So I ended up ordering this from U.S. Composites, same place I buy all my epoxy from. So for anybody that's interested and wanting to know how much, I don't remember how many yards of fabric I have, but I can tell you, you're going to need a minimum of 5 gallons of epoxy, probably more like 6 gallons to do the whole airplane, because I've bought at least that much. And then as far as thinner goes, when you start doing all this paint work and epoxy work, I've been buying it a gallon at a time. You need at least 5 gallons to 10 gallons of thinner. I mean, you go through that stuff so fast. That's all lacquer thinner. As you can see, I got the plane all dusted off. I actually pushed it outside so I could finish cleaning up in here, wiped everything down. So next weekend, Sunday, I'm not sure how much I can get done. I'm going to try and get this thing up to the airport and back. So I'll put the cowling on. I'll take the prop with me. I'm not going to leave it on for the trip. I'll take in, not going to take any of the controls. So I'll be doing that on Sunday, so I'm probably not going to get much of anything done on Sunday because it's 2 in the afternoon, it's supposed to go for 2 hours. And I think it'd probably go longer than that depending on what kind of turnout we get. But I'll set the cowling on there and screw it down and the likes. I might take the canopy mold there to show people that, you know, that's going to be used to make the windshield out of. So that's where we're at this week. A lot of work. I worked on these kind of through the week. I actually primed one of them up Thursday. Got that all sanded down and primed. And then I did the other one yesterday. Primed them, got them all in primer, and gave the first one a second coat of primer, and did some touch-ups after the primer was spot putty. And then today I was able to come out here and shoot the colors. So that's kind of where I'm at this week. Not much to report. A little bit of work for, a lot of work for a couple days. Doesn't seem like much, but it is. So it's going to be nice having those ramps. One problem is the ends are square, and if you're on pavement or concrete, that thing sticks up about 2 inches off the ground. It's going to be kind of hard to get the wheels to roll over top of that. So I'm going to probably make some kind of wedges to put on the ends of them so they can roll up onto that framework a little easier. I measured the angle. It's about 13 degrees, so I'll maybe cut a chunk of wood that can fit in there, bevel the bottom at 13 so it'll stick out about another foot and be flush with the ground. And then this angle up here is a little too steep. I'm going to have to bend it back some because this is meant to set on the tailgate of a truck. So I'm going to have to put these in my press and flatten them out till I get basically 13 degrees on them. Like I say, now just drill a bolt in there, spot weld it or something, and then I'll drill a hole in the frame on the back of my trailer. It'll drop right in there. And the surprising thing is the width of the landing gear on my gyrocopter is 6 foot, center to center, and the Corsair is 6'2". So I can have just one set of holes and it'll work for both airplanes. So what I got left to do now is get the materials for the muffler, get the plexiglass for the canopy and windshield, get some aluminum to make the covers and such. As you can see, I had this all turned out really nice here for the flaps. I mean, the wings are nice, look pretty nice and smooth, look pretty good. Good enough for a warbird. So we got the muffler, the windshield to deal with, get the canopies, the canopies made, and finish up all these controls. So I'll work on those. Maybe in the week here, these center ones, I never did get any material on the bottom yet. So I'll have to, I want to maybe try and get these covered, the bottoms, during the week. And then next Saturday I can work on the tops of all of them at the same time and hopefully get them all done on Saturday. And then they'll be ready for microballoon and sanding, filling, and painting. So cowling, also I still need to get inside and put in that reinforcement in the back here to add screws to it. And then I'll go around. I got the paint again, like I said, to paint that. I was going to get to that, but I didn't get to it today. I have very little paint, a little of this left, and it's mixed up. So once it's mixed, you got to use it. But I threw it in the freezer. I'm going to see if it holds until I can use it. It might be enough to spray the tops of all those. It's possible because it's almost a half quart. I thought I was going to use it all up, and it was come up a little short. But if I have to, I'll buy another pint, and that should finish me out for the paint work. Like I say, these flaps, these two inboard ones, the bottoms will get painted white, elevator's painted white, the rudder is painted light blue, and then the outboard panels, the last flap, and the aileron bottoms are light blue, and the tops of them, all of them are dark blue. All right, so I think that's all I wanted to talk about. People was asking about paint schemes and numbers and such, so that's where I'm at. And then there's some issues with mufflers, no mufflers. Sorry guys, my bird is getting mufflers, no straight pipes. All right, well that's going to do it for this week's update, folks. Stay tuned next week. I may get a little more done. Hopefully I can get on those controls and get them covered and ready for painting another week. The decals, I'm going to probably start cutting the stencils, because that was the last thing I needed, was this wing. This left wing, the decal goes on top, so I had to have it painted. The decal goes on the bottom of this wing and one on each side of the fuselage. So once these have time to set up good, I can get the stencils cut, put on there, and start painting the insignias. The rest of the stuff, the end number and that, they'll just be vinyl stickers. All right, folks, as always, feel free to leave any comments, questions, or concerns. I'll answer them as they come along, and appreciate everyone taking the time to watch these videos, and hope everyone enjoys them. All right, so for this week, folks, this is Dino Don out.